You have to know what you're doing. You have to know your craft. You have to crack the audition. And if you can't act, then there's no point being good looking. You have to eventually come on screen, do your part, emote that emotion. Good looking hoke to ya to gunge khade raho.
I think from where I am today, I think where I see it is that it's actually better that it happened earlier on, because now I know what it entails and like how good and bad it could be. So at least I've seen a shade of both, so I can sort of keep my mental health and everything in check.
Once Ananya was on board, we were very, very sure. I mean, she fits the character so well. Right now, I can't imagine anyone else as Bae.
You know, you grow up on Dharma movies and you know you see them and you're like, ek din main bhi hero banunga. So at least I've sort of got some. I hope I've got some sort of essence of that.
Hi guys, this is Ankita. You're tuned to Bollywood Bubble, and today I have 4 options. Who would be, or I should be calling them Bae. I think let's figure it out. It will be easy that way. We have Gurfateh, Varun, Vihaan, and director Collin with us. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
Call me Bae, Collin. I will ask you, why call me Bae? I mean, like, Bae and Boo barely talk to each other in today's time, but why call me Bae?
Bae and who?
Bae and Boo, as we call them, the new age Gen Z couple.
Oh no, I don't even know what this lingo.
Bae and Boo.
Like
like
Gen Z for
my
me.
boo.
Yeah.
So, Bae and Boo, that's how we describe the new age couple.
Oh,
The girl's Bae, the guy's Boo.
See, Varun still gets it.
yeah. Clearly, I'm millennial.
Uh, you can ask Varun later why he knows it so
Varun knows
well.
everything.
Yeah. I spent too much time on the internet.
Yeah.
But how did you get
I
the
don't
idea
mind
for
making a
Call
Call Me Boo also.
Me Next season, let's do
Yeah.
a spin.
As you said, there's 4 valid options for Call Me Boo. So.
Yeah.
I hope people don't think it's like smelly. Call Me Boo. Smelly? Like Boo?
Oh, Colin, that's
Yeah.
not it. But how did you come up with the name for Call Me Bae?
I didn't come up with it. It was already, actually, it's an interesting question. I don't know who came up with it. Call Me Bae. I should find out. But I'm assuming that it's Ishita
Yeah.
who did come up with the name. Bae obviously has, many connotations, like more. But Bae is also Bella Chaudhary's pet name in the show. And it's also her social media handle. She's at Call Me Bae. So, Mahase.
So, were you always sure when you were helming the project that Ananya is what you see your vision as Bella?
Yes, I think, once Ananya was on board, we were very, very sure. I mean, she fits the character so well. And then you work on the script a bit to also make it fit the actor. So, right now, I can't imagine anyone else as Bae. She's so good in it.
So, when I come to the boys, not boos here, but the boys here, is it safe to say it's a dharmification of 3 good looking men? On
Inshallah,
this?
why not?
Yeah.
So, why I'm saying this, once the trailer launch happened and I went to the social media to see the reactions. So, I was reading the captions like, oh, it's like revisiting Kukkad Kamalda, and all these compliments are flowing in. So, I thought I should ask, is it a dharmification of 3 men? How you see it?
हम तो वेट कर रहे हैं कि धर्माफिकेशन हो हमारी.
Exactly.
What about you, if you have to react to this one?
I'm really glad that people are giving that reaction. We don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
And I mean, being in a dramatic show is like a blessing for all of us. I can talk on behalf of all of us.
Yeah.
And if people are calling us the Dharma Boys now, it's fantastic. I hope that more of it comes ahead.
Okay, Vihaan, different for you. What is the Dharma Boy thing, if I have to ask you to decode?
I'm trying to figure it out myself. I really hope I've become one in this one.
Yeah.
Because it's you grow up and you grow up on Dharma movies and you see them and you're like, ek din main bhi hero banunga. So at least I've sort of got some. I hope I've got some sort of essence of that in this project, because that's the need of the project. I mean, we're shooting a project that is glossy and glamorous and fun and bingeable and has that layer of depth. Of course, that's why it's a show. But if we can capture that sort of essence, whatever it is, I hope we're at least a little bit successful in doing that.
When we often do shows which, as you just have called it, glossy, glam, fun, light-hearted, popcorn shows, I would call them, like I can keep my worries aside and watch them. Does it often comes to you when people ask you, okay, oh, this is too light-hearted, you're not showing much of layers or much of characterization? Do you come up with that? People come to you with such things?
I think once you watch the show, you won't have that.
I have.
criticism
I have.
because
I can say I have seen the episodes, so yes, I'm safe.
the show is much more than that.
It is.
Yeah. It has a lot. It has much more depth than you can imagine. Like Dharma films. I mean, it's all packaged in a very aspirational, glossy manner. But the characters are very relatable. You can see everything around you, and also you take something back from the show, and I think that's what we aspire to do as well.
On the, you tell me. I'll start with you. What's the first film in because Dharmatic it is, so Dharma it is. What was the first film or the first character you ever saw which aspired you to become the quintessential hero, as we call it? मुझे hero बनना है.
I don't think there was any such tube light moment because I did not watch a lot of films when I was growing up.
What?
I was more a sports person, but I think when I did, it'll have to be Wake Up Sid
Oh my
or
god,
Ye
I was
Jawani.
going to say Wake Up Sid.
No can repeat
Oh
the
my
answer.
God.
Wake Up
Nobody.
Sid or Ye Jawani.
Good.
Ye Jawani.
You get this. You will only get.
I think it's that. Either of the two. Or both. Ye Jawani Ye Diwani, Wake Up Sid, when the seed was sort of sowed, and then I think Ye Jawani Ye Diwani cemented it for me कि एक दिन धर्मा तो करूँगा.
I don't know
I was
about
about to say
you.
Wake Up Sid, but
Even I was going to say Wake Up Sid.
No, not qualified.
but
Gurfateh
Air Dil Hai
got the
Mushkil. When I saw
Ooh.
Ranveer,
Also Ae Dil. Yeah.
I couldn't believe that somebody could pull off that. Like when I saw him, I said, "How is this even possible?
Yeah.
How can somebody go and thought that deep and make it that convincing?" And I just hope that if I ever acted, because my aim was to join the army, I said if I had to ever act, I would want to eventually become like an actor like Ranbir Kapoor, who's so in depth with his craft.
I have a very varied list of things that really inspired me. Like I think early on it was Kal Ho Na Ho. I really loved that film growing up. And then also I had Rang De Basanti, which I really liked. Then I also really liked Three Idiots. And I also really loved Masan. So every time I see a film I like, I'm like, मुझे करना है.
मुझे करना है. मैं करेगा. I will be doing this one.
मैं सब करूँगा. मुझे करना है.
But Colin, when you started as an AD here, from then to now, what were your memories of the projects which you have worked on, and when you're making your own full-fledged venture, how has the journey been? It's fulfilling by so many means.
Oh, it's amazing. It's been amazing. I've had the opportunity to work with some wonderful filmmakers. Rajkumar Hirani, I've done 2 films with him. I've worked with Rakesh Mehra, Reema Kakdi, Navdeep Singh, Advait, who's a very close friend of mine. And all leading up to, coming to Dharma, finding my home in Dharma. And with Call Me Bae, I think I bring a little bit of my experience from each of those experiences into this. And it's been a very gratifying, fulfilling journey.
I don't know if it is the best thing to ask, but when you have 3 good-looking men on the frame, does the vanity becomes a better topic of discussion over the craft?
It depends what you ask.
I think
I'm asking the director. I think he
they
will
are
be able
very
to do it.
unassuming of their looks. They are like very effortlessly handsome and good looking. So they don't bring that vanity onto set. Also on our set, like allowed ही नहीं था.
इतनी
Egos,
vanity already थी.
हाँ, yeah, सब लोग बहुत ही chill थे, so it was not like that.
How do you see that, Varun, often considering that you have been one of the most popular internet sensations? You have seen that entire phase where people obsess how you look. You have done shows like that in reality space. Do you think sometimes the good looks becomes the measure of how exactly you would rather want to be treated as an actor?
I think maybe in reality, it's a big factor. Of course, if a character requirement is to look a certain way, then it is considered, your looks are considered, but then eventually you have to play a character, you have to take a story forward, and that can't just depend on how good looking you are. You have to know what you're doing, you have to know your craft, you have to crack the audition, and if you can't act, then there's no point being good looking. You have to eventually come on screen, do your part, emote that emotion. Good looking होके तो या तो गूंगे खड़े रहो.
That's smart. Man, you have been a popular face in the OTT space. I mean, especially when it comes to the mismatch love, I would call it. And we have seen this space evolve for the better from the time of where there was a phase we had all gung-ho about action and the bloodshed. We also have this beautiful romantic slice of life space. You match it very well with Mismatch and now with When Shall I Call Me Bae. How you see the space today?
I think it's great. I think at the end of the day, things are being funded because there is a need for it, or a want for it rather. I just hope that the future entails a scenario where people realize that there is something that everyone wants. Audiences have very, very different tastes. As long as we're catering to all of them, it's a great thing. I don't think it's. I think there's this whole discussion about box office and films and whether they're working or not working. I would say rather than that, I think just look at what we've made and see how it performs and go from there. And I think honestly, at the end of the day, you can't say like this is working, that's not working. As long as the story is told with enough depth and soul, I think it will get the response it needs. Maybe not now, but in the near future. I see the space. I mean, I'm not some guru on OTT space. I'm not a producer. I'm not an entertainment head. So I don't know about the economics. But I'm just really happy to see projects with a very clear idea for what it wants to be. Because earlier it could be that you just put a bunch of people together and like make it on the fly. But here, from the initial process with Call Me Bae, at least, I think Somin, the entire creative team were very clear with what they wanted. Correct me if I'm wrong. Which is so great to see because there's a sense of confidence. कि ये बना रहे और ये ही बनाएंगे. So if that extends to everything that we're doing, I think it's a great time to be an actor.
I'll take the closing question with you because it comes from a compliment from your fellow actor. I was talking to Lakshay the other day and I spoke to him that there was a time when, of course, you people were supposed to be together in that big ticket film and for the reasons it couldn't make. And he told me that was the lowest point in his life where he thought he just couldn't make it and he just couldn't fly from there. But then he did his own thing and you are doing yours. As an actor, when such bumps happen in your journey, are there days you feel like giving up? Because there can be tough roads to travel.
Not giving up, but I think that can happen at any point in your career. I think from where I am today, I think where I see it is that it's actually better that it happened earlier on because now I know what it entails and like how good and bad it could be. So at least I've seen a shade of both. So I can sort of keep my mental health and everything in check a lot better from wherever it goes from here. But apart from that, I think roadblocks, I think we've all felt it. I've felt it. He must have felt it. Vihaan's felt it. Collin's felt it. That's just the industry. That's just the nature of what we do. So good and bad, the fact is that I love what I do and I'll continue doing it till I die. So,
yeah, because the conversation was happening with him he's like, it's glad that some things didn't happen, as Lakshay was telling me. Had it worked and had the success gone to my head, I wouldn't have seen how to navigate it today.
Yeah, everything's like, I mean, just
It happens for a reason.
Happens for a reason, yeah.
So I think this one is happening for a reason. We are short on time, but I'm putting in a request to Collin that please take in consideration Call Me Bae for season 2 if it's happening. I can like do the pitch in because I've seen the one, so I can definitely pitch the Call Me Bae season 2 with Collin.
Why not?
This is the smoothest pitch you have got on an interview.
Absolutely. Call Me Bae is something waiting to happen.
With these 3 good-looking men in there, we'll definitely see what's more today. But congratulations for your show and
Thank
hoping
you.
that it brings as much joy as I have binge-watched in one go.